Do you want money? Do you want fame? Do you want fortune? Well, I'm gonna teach you exactly how to get it. In this series, I'll be starting from just 1,000 gil and trading my way up the market board until I have my very own seat on the syndicate. The Lalafels already have a major head start, so without further ado, let's get right into the grind. Alrighty guys, welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire. As you can see here, we have sold all of our items. So we have 86,510 gil, and while that might seem a little low compared to the estimate we had at the end of last episode, unfortunately, if you look here, the price went down pretty drastically. I think the amount of Terebinth we put onto the market here, especially given that you can buy it at a grand company, caused the price to basically plummet, and as a result, we didn't make nearly as much profit as we thought we were going to. That said, 86,000 is not bad at all, so we're gonna see what we can do with this. Alrighty, so as we learned last time, we made a mistake in putting all of our eggs in one basket. Though we did actually invest in some materia, which sold very well. Unfortunately, that's just not gonna be enough in terms of the proportion of our sales that made up. Because of that, we're going to want to look into a couple key characteristics for future purchases. Number one, we want to make sure we're not spending more than 50% of our gil on one item. Number two, we're going to want to make sure that that item is either something like lumber that's craftable and less efficient to buy from a vendor, or it's something like leather, or it's something that's a mob drop or a dungeon drop, so people don't want to go get it. By following those two rules, we can likely guarantee our profit, and hopefully we'll make even more this time around because we have a little more to play with. So I'm going to look into the market board, see what's happening, see what I can find, and I will be back in a second. Alrighty, so in terms of materia, it looks like the Craftsman Competence 1 is going to be our best shot. On Zalera, this sells for between 100 and 500, and on Diabolos, it's going for nearly 1,000, if not more. We also want to make sure we're aware of what things typically sell for rather than just their current price, because while everything on the market board is listed at 10,000, the history shows that typically this caracal skin is more like 300. Now here looks like our next target. This Amphitheater skin goes for 4,000 currently, and historically around 1,000, but it's currently selling on Mateus for about 230 gil. So we're gonna go visit Zalera and grab some Craftsman's Competence materia, and then go find some Amphitheater skin on Mateus. Alrighty, so over on Zalera we have the Craftsman's Competence materia, and I think I'm gonna buy everything up to 300 gil just to hedge our bets and make sure we're not getting completely screwed if we end up crashing the market. Actually, I'm gonna buy these remaining two here that are for a reasonable price just because we have a lot of money to play with right now, and I want to make sure we're maximizing our profits. Over on Mateus, we're gonna buy all of the Amphitheater skin up to probably 600 here, as well as these bear skin which go for 8 grand or more on Diabolos. It actually seems like Mateus is really good for these skin prices because this $400 dragon skin goes for over 2 grand, 3 grand on Diabolos, so I'm gonna buy good amount of this too. Now, something interesting to note is that we probably don't want to be doing this with the highest quality materials. This double duraluminum ingot sells for 25,000 at very cheapest and 35,000 on Diabolos, but the high quality, which people are going to be looking for, is only about a $50 difference. So I think that really says that the people who want this high quality max tier materials are likely going to travel for them, so the price is going to be more stable. The things we want are the ones in the middle, the kind of things like Mithril and Electrum, which sell for very cheap on a server like Marlboro and higher on Diabolos. Right here we can see that the cheapest Mithril ingot on Marlboro is 99 gil, whereas on Diabolos it sells for over 1,000, so we might invest some into that as well. It actually looks like Brynhildr has a better supply, so I think that's where I'm going to go. So even looking at the history of Mithril selling on Diabolos, it averages out to about 600 gil, so everything below that should get us a guaranteed profit. Now, while we do want to kind of diversify and be a little conservative, we still have about 37,000 left over. So I'm going to go find something to spend that money on. I want to leave us with about 10,000 gil just in case all of this flops. And I think we're actually going to stay in the sort of leather area where Old Goat leather sells for over 1,000 on Diabolos historically, but it's only about 300 on Goblin. I think to make sure I'm not spending all of our money on one thing, I'm just going to buy, about 50 of these and bring them back home. And for our last little investment here, we are going to go back to Zalera and buy some of this Battle Dance Materia 1, which sells for right now about 2 times what it does on Zalera on Diabolos, but historically it actually sells for closer to 9,000. So hopefully this should sell pretty quickly and we can reinvest. Alrighty, so with all of this put up on the market board, we stand to make 352,980 gil. While that is a little bit of a departure from the 600,000 gil we were poised to make last time, I do feel like it's more realistic. We've put 6 different items up on the market board for, fairly reasonable total prices here, and things that are more likely to actually sell at the prices we're putting them at or around there. Because of that, we will hope these all sell pretty quickly and at the prices that they are set at, and I will see you when they sell. So unfortunately, just like last video, we didn't end up selling for as much as we thought we were. Unfortunately, the prices dropped on a lot of the items we were selling to the point where we actually lost some money on a couple different items. That said, we did still make about 57,000, so not a complete loss. We still made a good amount of money, but this is kind of getting a little disheartening to see the prices just drop so much before people buy things. Because of that, I think I'm going to change strategy, and instead of selling those niche crafting items, we're going to switch focus to things that people buy more frequently. One of these things is the wide spectrum 1 die, which while it sells for 7.1 grand here, it goes for 5.2 on Marlboro, so we can potentially make a decent profit there. The history suggests that it stays around this price, so we should make a good margin. Additionally, we're going to be buying some of these crafters delineations, which sell for about 700 here. Now these are consumables, which means that they're consumed when you do a certain action, and these are something that a lot of high-end crafters are going to be needing. To obtain these delineations, we can go over to Coearl and Marlboro and get them for about 100, 150, which should make us a good amount of profit here, especially if we sell a decent amount of them, because they seem to sell fairly often, as you can see by the amount purchased today. The last item that I think we're going to look at is Bearskin, which is about $7,000-8,000 on this server. Over on Mateus, it's selling for a mere 1,500, so hopefully we'll make a good profit on that. I'm going to go check those other servers out and see what I can get, and we'll meet back here when I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the remainder of the money, if there is any. Alright, so here on Marlboro, we're going to be buying some wide spectrum die. I think I'm just going to buy 10 of them for about 50,000 gil. We're then going to be purchasing some delineations, which I think I'm going to buy probably everything up to 245. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, Mateus seems to be inaccessible, so I'm going to have to look for a couple more things to pad out our money. That thing is actually going to be our old friend Materia, which sells for 2,700 on Zalera, but about anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 on Diabolos. Finally, we're going to invest 35,000 gil into this Sophic Barding, which on our home server of Diabolos sells for about 60,000 gil. After putting that all up on the market, it looks like we're going to be making about 82,146 gil, which isn't half bad. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't nearly as much as I was hoping, but I'll have to do some more research into how to effectively flip the market. It's kind of hard when it comes to servers that are closed so I can't access their materials, or when it comes to things that just kind of drop in price and don't sell for a while. But hopefully I'll get better at figuring out what items sell best. I'm keeping a spreadsheet of all of these purchases and sales, so I'll get a feel for the trends over time. Now, while the haul today was a little disappointing, really we shouldn't be that upset. In just 2 episodes, we've made 142,000 gil, with potentially up to 224,000 on the way. Through this experience is both me sharing with you my journey as well as showing you how I'm learning. A lot of this is me trying to theorize what's going to sell best and just trying to figure that out. Now, something that I have been thinking is that to kind of bolster these episodes, I might actually include some other content, like me exchanging currencies. What I mean by that is showing me buying things with Grand Company seals or tomestones or whatever, and selling those on the market board, just to add to the runtime and make a little more money. Now, I know this series started on the premise of trading up, but I think that would be more accurate to the guild making experience. While this challenge is really nice, I mean, it really is just a matter of waiting. If that's something you'd like to see, please leave it in the comments down below and let me know what your thoughts are. If I do include it, I'll make sure to keep the running total completely separate so we can know how much I've been able to trade up as well as how much I've made overall. That said, thank you so much for watching. Go watch the first episode if you haven't and check out the road to 8.0. When all the items sell, I'll get another Gillionaire episode made and you'll see that when you see that. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. Please drop a like and a subscribe as well as commenting what your thoughts are on where this series should go. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time on Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire episode 3.